all know had a great run, but like most tag teams, Kane and I eventually went our separate ways, and I returned to pursuing my goal of winning singles titles.
I need to win the WWE Championship.
It was around this time I had a series of matches with Randy Orton that would have a much greater effect on my career than I could ever imagine. I put a lot of pressure on myself during this because Randy was really the first real top guy that I had a rivalry with. If I could do well with Randy, that puts you even to another level. I felt I had a lot to prove, which led to some very hard-hitting and physical contests. I got pretty banged up, but I was determined to fight through it and not let it slow me down. So much so that I went on to face Randy Orton in a street fight rematch on Raw.
A sold-out Raw here in Charleston, South Carolina. Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton started the night with a double disqualification, but they will settle things in the main event with a street fight.
Randy Orton called Daniel Bryan a weak link. Kane called Daniel Bryan a weak link. Bryan is here to prove that he is not a weak link.
Tall order as he faces 9-time WWE Champion Randy Orton. A street fight is apropos for Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, seen as both men will take part in a Money in the Bank ladder match in 3 weeks' time.
All the weapons we'll see Bryan and Orton sling tonight is just a prelude to the unforgiving steel ladders at play in a Money in the Bank match.
You two brought up the upcoming Money in the Bank match. Don't forget that Kane's in that match too. I wonder if Bryan's going to be able to stay sane with so many agitating factors in play in that match.
I think Daniel Bryan will thrive, actually. He's won Money in the Bank more recently than Kane, and Randy Orton still hasn't won Money in the Bank after multiple attempts.
He wants no part of the outside.
I'm not surprised that Randy Orton couldn't make it as a tag team partner for Daniel Bryan. He hasn't had the best track record with allies this year.
That's true, Byron. Orton put his neck out for the Big Show to help him and Sheamus take on the Shield at WrestleMania. That match ended with Big Show punching out both his partners. Back now inside the ring. You two gentlemen mentioned Orton's bad luck with tag partners. After Big Show's betrayal, Sheamus and Orton couldn't get along. It's a minor miracle that Orton helped Team Hell No beat the Shield.
Needless to say, I don't think we'll be seeing Orton teaming up with anyone in that locker room for quite some time after tonight.
He might have it. His signature slam. This is all but over. You're going to want to see your internist after a slam like that. Daniel Bryan has a major task ahead of him tonight. He's got to beat a man with just about every accolade on his resume in the form of Randy Orton.
Yeah, Corey, you're not kidding. Orton has held the Intercontinental Championship, the Tag Team Championship, he's won the Royal Rumble, and has been WWE Champion 9 times.
We compared Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan's accolades before, and Daniel Bryan has a decent resume too, as he's won Money in the Bank and has held the U.S. title, tag team titles, and the world title 1 time each.
That's just it, Cole. Bryan's had a taste of success. Orton's been feasting on it forever.
And Randy Orton just slips out of harm's way.
He's looking banged up here, guys.
And it looks like things are about to get even worse.
It's kind of a shame that Orton and Bryan are fighting tonight and that they will also be brawling with Kane in the Money in the Bank match, since those three men are the only trio to pin or submit the Shield in a six-man tag team match.
It's even more impressive when you consider the trios that fell to the Shield. At WrestleMania, Orton, Sheamus, and The Big Show failed. On the Raw 2 weeks after WrestleMania, Team Hell No and The Undertaker couldn't do it. Last week, Team Hell No and Orton finally beat the Shield, and in 3 weeks, they'll be fighting each other for Money in the Bank. Back in from the floor, and he's heading back in. Orton's starting to falter a bit, and you can tell it's starting to frustrate the Viper.
A street fight should be Orton's forte, but he's facing an extremely motivated Daniel Bryan.
Randy Orton has had rage issues, and Daniel Bryan is no stranger to anger management. Who has the advantage in a twisted match like this?
There's a world of difference between how Bryan and Orton process their anger. Orton's turned it into a Hall of Fame career. Bryan suffered some of his worst losses due to his mental issues.
This kind of offense he's known for. Bringing it back into the ring. Uh-oh, look at this.
Nelson applied.
One move after the other. It's devastating. Look at it a second time. That slam put him in a bad way, guys.
The Viper getting absolutely pounded right now.
Daniel Bryan has been consumed with the idea that he's a weak link due to his performances in tag team competition as of late.
Well, Bryan tends to be consumed by just about every minor annoyance, but he did take the pin in 3 straight tag team championship losses to the Shield.
Ooh!
Bringing back up Daniel Bryan as a weak link. Note that he's not sorry he let Kane down when he cost Team Hell No the tag titles, or that he failed Randy Orton in their quest for the tag titles. Bryan's just thinking about himself here.
Look, Bryan may have faltered in those matches, but Bryan was also the guy who got Seth Rollins to tap out for the Shield's first ever 6-man tag team loss. He can obviously be a team player, but right now, Bryan is out to prove he's a single superstar.
I don't want to know what that feels like. This rivalry between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton has been simmering for weeks and looks to violently explode during this street fight.
Bryan has been determined to show he can beat Orton. Last week on Raw, Randy Orton won the match via ref stoppage when Bryan injured his arm. Bryan got a count-out.
Uh-oh, Bryan looking for it.
Locks in. What's Randy Orton gonna do?
Will the Viper tap out?
Orton's in serious trouble.
Trying to drag himself to the ropes, but remember, the ropes aren't going to cause a break here.
Guys.
Because this is a street fight. Orton with a kendo stick. Whoa!
Repeated strikes with a kendo stick. Orton wearing the weapon out on Daniel Bryan's body.
Just what the WWE's Apex Predator needs is a weapon.
It's all perfectly legal.
Now you will find absolutely, oh my God, no remorse whatsoever from Randy Orton.
All the frustration inside the Viper bubbling over. Orton's like a man possessed. This won't end well.
And he's got Bryan on the second rope. Randy Orton could be closing in on a victory. Ooh, vintage Orton with a DDT.
I think that's the beginning of the end, gentlemen. Randy Orton seems to be preparing to go to that place.
Randy Orton is focused. Randy Orton could be closing in on victory.
Looking for the RKO. No.
Backslide by Bryan. Shoulders are down. Orton kicks out. Now on a kick by Daniel Bryan, and now kendo stick in hand. And Bryan unloading on Orton.
Bryan returning the favor.
You have to think that's it.
The Viper getting absolutely pounded right now.
Does Orton even know where he is?
He may not like being called a weak link, but
Wow, he got out of it.
yeah, I'm not so sure he had it fully locked in.
Orton looking for something big.
Uh-oh.
When this guy's on, look out. I don't like the look in his eye here, folks. Looking for the win. He's inflicting some serious pain here.
This one is over. Randy Orton got the worst end of that stick.
Twice as nice.
The Viper getting absolutely pounded right now.
Does Orton even know where he is? Daniel Bryan using the kendo stick for leverage. And Orton taps out. Randy Orton taps out.
What a win for Daniel Bryan.
Career-defining win for Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan with one of the biggest victories of his career.
And we knew it was going to be a physically grueling battle between Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton, and boy, did Bryan earn this.
Gotta give it up to him. Gotta give it up to Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan's going to be feeling the effects of this one for some time.
Oh, hold on.
Orton offering a sign of respect.
That's what you love to see. Two great superstars, two great warriors displaying their mutual respect for each other.